Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel of Anglais for Students. As you see in this channel, we present many lessons related to grammar, vocabulary, communication, and business English. So today we're going to see a lesson related to tenses, okay? يعني الأزمنة في اللغة الإنجليزية. This tense is called the past perfect, or in Arabic الماضي التام. And we will also see the past perfect continuous. Basically, we'll see the form and use, and we'll do some exercises related to both tenses. Okay, first let's start by the past perfect, and as I said before, the past perfect in Arabic الماضي التام. First, verbs have different forms. يعني الأفعال تكون عندهم أشكال مختلفة called tenses. هما اللي كنسميهم أزمنة. The tense of a verb tell us when the action happens. اوكي الزمن اللي كيكون فيه الفعل هو اللي كيعطينا فكرة عن أي وقت وقع الحدث. اوكي so in this lesson we will learn how to form the past perfect tense, when to use the past perfect tense, how to form negative and interrogative in the past perfect tense, and we will also see the form and use of the past perfect continuous. Okay, first forming the past perfect tense. The past perfect consists of two verbs. يتكون من فعلين. helping verb فعل مساعد had دائما كيكون had ما كيتبدلش, and main verb في ال past participle ديالو. Okay, had plus past participle equal past perfect. Example, she had finished her homework. So here we have the helping verb had and we have finished. So the verb finish في past participle finished. كما شفنا من قبل ال past participle two cases in English, either regular كيتزادهم ed afin, or irregular memorize or you look them up in a dictionary. Okay, example of irregular like go, the past participle ديالها كيولي gone. Okay, now let's conjugate the verb to work in the past perfect and start by affirmative case. First, I had worked, you had worked, he had worked, she had worked, it had worked, we had worked, you had worked, they had worked. So you notice here in green we have the helping verb had and we have the verb work in the past participle ed, so it becomes worked. So had worked it doesn't change with all subjects pronouns. يعني نفس الفورم had worked استعملناها مع جميع subjects pronoun I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. ملاحظة أخرى worked كتنطق بحال عندنا تي على فين. اوكي worked why الأفعال اللي كينتهيو بكاي or p or t ملي كنزيدوهم ed كتقرأ ت. example worked, stopped, asked. Now let's see the negative, نفي. So I hadn't worked, you hadn't worked, he hadn't worked, she hadn't worked, it hadn't worked, we hadn't worked, you hadn't worked, they hadn't worked. So notice here it's again the same story. Hadn't worked, it's repeated with all subjects pronouns. نفس الفورم hadn't worked يعني كتعاود مع جميع subjects pronouns. So here what's the difference between affirmative and negative? الفرق بين الأفرماتيف والنيجاتيف هو not, يعني علامة النفي not. hadn't worked. Okay, but apart from that all the forms are the same with all subjects pronouns. Okay, and now let's see the interrogative case. So had I worked, had you worked, had he worked, had she worked, had it worked, had we worked, had you worked, had they worked. Good. So what do we notice here? We notice that we start with the helping verb had. we don't study with the subject pronoun I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they, but we start with the model with the helping verb had. Okay, then comes the subject pronoun and then the past participle. Okay. Okay, here is a summary. هذا ملخص الفورمز بثلاثة اللي شفنا. So past perfect tense. So first we have affirmative كنشير لها بعلامة plus زائد. So S it means subject plus had دائما كتكون had plus had plus past participle. Okay. Example: she had finished the test. She had finished the test. Let's see negative case. دائما كنشير لها بعلامة minus ناقص. Subject plus had not. لاحظوا had not or hadn't بجوج صح اللي استعملتو صح. Plus past participle. So she hadn't finished the test. She hadn't finished the test. Interrogative case كنشيرو لها question mark. So notice here the change is that we start with had with helping verb plus subject plus past participle. Example: had she finished the test? Had she finished the test? So these are the three forms of the past perfect. Now let's see the uses. Here is a short note that we should make the short form of the past perfect. Example: I had not worked or I hadn't worked. كلا الطريقتين صحيحتين. Okay. And affirmative: I had worked or I'd worked. Okay, now let's see time expressions before we see the uses of the past perfect. هناك دائما عبارات وكلمات تدل على الوقت هي التي تعطي يعني ايش من وقت ولا من زمن نصرف فيه الفعل. Okay, so we tend to use the following time expression with the past perfect. First one: already مسبقا. For example: she had already seen that film. She had already seen that film. شاهدت ذلك الفيلم مسبقا. And notice here already البوزيسيون المكان ديالها. So between had and the past participle seen. Number two: never. She had never seen that film. She had never seen that film. يعني لم ترى أو تشاهد ذلك الفيلم مسبقا أو أبدا. Okay. So she had never seen that film. Again the same with never. It comes after had and before the past participle seen of the verb see. So seen is the past participle of the verb to see. Okay, شاهد أو رأى. After: he went to school after he had lunch. He went to school ذهب إلى المدرسة بعدما أخذ وجبة الغداء. Okay, and the opposite we can use before قبل. He had lunch before he went to school. He had lunch before he went to school. Okay, so these are time expressions that we use with the past perfect. And the most important ones here are before and after. First, the first use. And this is the most important use. هذا هو الأهم اللي كيتستعمل فيه past perfect tense. The past perfect is used for an action that happened before another action in the past. بمعنى آخر we have two actions in the past. عندنا حدثين في الماضي وباش نرتبهم كنديروا الحدث الاول اللي وقع هو الاول كنديروا في الباست بيرفكت. هذا الحدث اللي كيتبعو كنديروا في simple past. Okay, so here is an example. But first let's look at the form. كيف ما قلنا في الأول had plus past participle. So when do we use past perfect tense? The past perfect takes place before another past action. يعني past perfect هو الماضي التام كيجي قبل حدث آخر في الماضي. Example: I noticed that he had left his books behind. I noticed يعني رأيت ولا لاحظت بأنه that he had left his books behind يعني ترك كتبه خلفه. Okay, so ترك الكتب هو الحدث الأول اللي وقع دونك هو اللي غيكون في past perfect. Okay, و notice is the second action هو اللي غيكون في simple past. هنا كنستعملوا past perfect لتراتبية الأحداث. Okay, so to understand more let's see this example. يعني باش نفهموا أكثر نشوفوا هذا المثال ونطرحوا هذه الأسئلة ونحاولوا نجاوبوا عليهم. So he had left when she arrived. He had left غادر بينما هي أتت. Okay, when she arrived. So questions: are we talking about the past? Yes. How many actions are there in the past? Two. يعني حدثين اللي عندنا في الماضي. Did both actions happen at the same time? واش وقعوا نفس الوقت؟ No. 4. So did one action happen before the other? واش حدث وقع قبل الآخر؟ Yes. Which action happened first? الحدث اللي وقع الأول هو اللي غندير في past perfect اللي هو he had left. Okay. So the use, as we said, past perfect simple is used to talk about two actions in the past and to make clear the sequence of events. باش نوضحوا تراتبية الأحداث. It shows that one action happened before the other. Okay, so to make it clear, let's see this diagram باش نوضحوا أكثر. نشوفوا هذا السهم اللي كيوضح لنا الأزمنة. So we have future, we have now, present, and we have past. اللي كيهمنا هو الباست في حدثين. So one happened at 9. مثلا حدث ديال المغادرة he had left at 9 وقع في 9. she arrived at 9:30 وهي أتت في 9:30. اوكي لاحظوا الفرق. so he had left when she arrived. لاحظوا sequence of the session of the actions ترتيبية الأحداث. الحدث الأول had left هو اللي في الباست بيرفكت والحدث الثاني arrived اللي هو اللي في simple past. Okay, to understand clearly this use, let's see this example. So here, Ali had played tennis before he took a shower. Ali had played tennis before he took a shower. يعني Ali لعب مباراة تنس قبل ما يأخذ يستحم. So here we have two actions. Action 1 and action 2. Action 1 played tennis and action 2 take a shower. وكلا الحدثين في الماضي في الباست. Which one first? أيهما حدث أولا؟ So playing tennis هو اللي غيكون في past perfect. So علي had played tennis before he took a shower. Okay, now we are going to see the same example but with after. شفنا المثال الأول before دابا نشوف المثال نفس المثال ب after. وهادو time expression أكثر استعمالا مع past perfect. So action 1 play tennis. Action 2 take a shower. So Ali took a shower after بعدما he had played tennis. لاحظوا هنا ماشي الحدث الأول هو اللي تكتب الأول في الجملة علي took a shower. no, هذاك الحدث الثاني واخا جا هو الأول في الجملة. الحدث الأول الذي وقع هو he had played tennis هو اللي خصو يكون في الباس بيرفكت. ملي كنقول الحدث الأول هو الأول في الباس بيرفكت ماشي هو الأول اللي كيتكتب في الجملة، هو الأول اللي كيحدث في الواقع. okay. Second use of the past perfects, as I said, it's used to express a past wish. يعني كتستعمل باش تعبر على واحد التمني في الماضي. My friend wishes he had gone to school. My friend wishes he had gone to school. يعني يتمنى لو ذهب للمدرسة من قبل. Okay. So here we use the past perfect to express a past wish. Gone is the past participle of the verb go. Okay. Go, gone. Okay, the third use of the past perfects. So it's used to show cause and effects. It is used to show cause, سبب والنتيجة ديالو. Let's see example. Mike got a good mark. Mike got a good mark because he had studied hard. Mike حصل على نقطة جيدة لأنه درس جيدا. شنو اللي سبق الحصول على النقطة ولا الدراسة جيدا؟ الحدث الأول اللي وقع هو يعني درس جيدا. okay. So he had studied hard. So we put it in the past perfect. والحدث الثاني got a good mark هو اللي درنا في simple past. okay. So here we have the cause سبب he had studied hard والنتيجة effect he had got a good mark, and that's why we use the past perfect here to show cause and effects. Fourth use of the past perfect. So it is used for action that happened before a specific time in the past. واحد الحدث اللي وقع قبل واحد الوقت محدد في الماضي. Okay. Here let's see the example. So they had already closed their shops before 6 o'clock. They had already closed their shops before 6 o'clock. So we are talking about the past. ماشي أي كنهضروا على واحد الحدث واحد الوقت محدد في الماضي اللي هو 6 o'clock. أشنو وقع قبل هذا الوقت؟ They had already closed their shops يعني قاموا بإغلاق متاجرهم. So they had already. لاحظوا already كتجي between helper verb had and past participle of the verb closed. So they had already closed their shops before 6 o'clock. Now it's time for practice. Let's see and work on an exercise in which you are supposed to use the simple past or past perfects. First you pay attention to the time expressions يعني شوفوا time expression اللي عندنا في الجمل ونشوف شنو الاستعمالات اللي ممكن نستعملو، ونرتبوا الأحداث. الحدث الأول اللي كيوقع في الباست تنديرو في الباست بيرفكت، والحدث الثاني اللي كيتبع هو اللي كيكون في السيمبل باست. Okay, let's do the exercise first. So put the verbs between brackets in the correct tense. First, Amy studied a lot before she take the tests. Amy studied a lot يعني درست جيدا قبل ما تأخذ الامتحان. حدثين وقعوا الآن في الماضي. الحدث الأول غنديرو في past perfect، والحدث الثاني غيكون في simple past. Number 2, we get into the restaurant only because we reserve our places. يعني دخلنا إلى المطعم فقط لأننا حجزنا أماكننا مسبقا. 3, I not been to India before 1986. Here we have a specific time in the past وعندنا حدث وقع قبل هاد time. So not be, here we have negative, هنستعملو negative form. 4, they have a lot of trouble before they finally succeed. Okay. 5, Chris owned that car for 5 years before he sell it. Chris own يعني يمتلك تلك السيارة لمدة 5 سنوات قبل ما يقوم ببيعها. 6, Sharon be very sick. كمساعدة هنا الباست participle ديال be هو been. So Sharon be very sick يعني كان مريضا كانت مريضة until she stopped eating junk food. توقفت عن أكل fast food, junk food or fast food الوجبات السريعة. 7, I be in Greece اليونان for 7 months before I moved to Spain. 8, you cook a lot because you be so angry. You cook a lot تطبخ كثيرا because you be so angry لأنك كنت جائعا. Okay, so try to put the verbs here between brackets either in simple past or past perfect. Okay, so here are the answers. 1, Amy had studied a lot before she took the tests. Number 2, we got into the restaurant only because we had reserved our places. 3, I hadn't been to India before 1986. 4, they had a lot of trouble before they finally succeeded. And here I want to draw your attention to the they had بزاف الناس غيطرحوا السؤال كيفاش حصلنا على had علاش عندنا نفس الكلمة ما. لا، شنو قلنا على القاعدة الباست بيرفكت had بلس باست participle. هنا had الأولى ديال القاعدة helping verb، وهاد الثانية هي ديال الفعل have اللي عندكم بين قوسين في التمرين، وهاف في الباست participle ديالها هي had. دونك اش كتعطينا they had. 5, Chris had owned that car for 5 years before he sold it. 6, Sharon had been very sick until she stopped eating junk food. 7, I'd been in Greece for 7 months before I moved to Spain. 8, you cooked a lot because you had been so angry. You cooked a lot because you had been so angry. Notice here I put the past perfect بلون أزرق in blue color and simple past red color. Okay, if you have any question about this, just write it in the comment. Okay, now let's study the past perfect continuous. It's more or less the same as the past perfect in the use. Okay, so let's start first by the form, and then we move to the use, and then to a practice. Past perfect continuous tense. It's also known as the past perfect progressive tense. جميع الأفعال في اللغة الإنجليزية، جميع الأزمنة في اللغة الإنجليزية اللي تسمى past continuous, present continuous, present perfect continuous ممكن نستعملوا اسم آخر اللي هو past progressive, present progressive, present perfect progressive. Okay, continuous, progressive, they are used interchangeably. So it shows that an action that started in the past continued up until another time in the past. بمعنى آخر الباست بيرفكت كونتينيوس كيبين لنا واحد الحدث اللي وقع في الماضي وبقى مستمر حتى لواحد الوقت في الماضي. Okay, so the past perfect continuous tense is constructed using the formula below. la form ديال past perfect continuous هي had been، دائما had been plus verb plus ing. Okay, had been plus verb وهذاك الفيرب في الأصل ديالو كتكون ing. Okay, let's conjugate the verb work في الأفيرماتيف. So I had been working, you had been working, he had been working, she had been working, it had been working, we had been working, you had been working, they had been working. Notice here it's the same form with all subjects pronouns. I think the past perfect and past perfect continuous is one of the easiest tenses to understand in English. So نفس الفورم كتعود مع جميع subjects pronoun. Notice had been كما قلنا على القاعدة had been plus verb اللي هو work وكنزيدو ing على فعل. And it's the same for all subject pronouns. Okay, now let's see the negative نفي. So past perfect continuous forms of in the negative. So I had not been working, you hadn't been working, he hadn't been working, she hadn't been working, it hadn't been working, we hadn't been working, you hadn't been working, they hadn't been working. So notice here what's the difference between affirmative and negative. الفرق الوحيد هو كنزيدو not وكنزيدوها been, had and been. Okay, في الوسط had and been. It becomes either you say had not as a full form or hadn't. Okay. Okay, now let's see the interrogative case. يعني نطرحو السؤال بال past perfect continuous. Had I been working? Had you been working? Had he been working? Had she been working? Had it been working? Had we been working? Had you been working? Had they been working? Notice here again the same as the past perfect. نفس كما شفنا مع past perfect كنبداو بالhelping verb had. عاد من بعدو كيجيو subject pronoun had I, had you, had he, had she, had it, had we, had you, had they. Okay, so subject pronoun كيجيو بين had and been. And don't forget the question mark. دائما question mark مع الانتروغاتيف. Okay, here is a summary. تلخيص مماثل اللي درنا مع past perfect. هو درنا مع past perfect continuous tense. So plus for affirmative يعني علامة زائد دائما كنشير بها الافirmative. So subject plus had plus been plus verb plus ing. They had been playing tennis. Negative علامة ناقص. So student subject plus had not or hadn't plus been plus verb plus ing. So it gives us they hadn't been playing tennis. Interrogative كنبداو ب had. So had plus subject plus been plus verb ing. So had they been playing tennis? Okay, now let's see the use of the past perfect continuous. So it is used to show that something started in the past يعني تستعمل باش يشير لواحد الشيء بدا في الماضي and continued up until another time in the past وبقى مستمر حتى لوقت آخر في الماضي. نشوفوا الدياغرام اللي عندنا تما نشوفوا باللون الأخضر. سواء عندنا past present future باللون الأخضر عندنا سهم يعني حدث انطلق في الماضي وبقى مستمر حتى العلامة الزرقاء اللي هي كتشير لواحد الوقت محدد في الماضي. هذا هو الاستعمال ديال past perfect continuous tense. Example: They had been talking for over an hour before Tony arrived. They had been talking for over an hour before Tony arrived. وغالبا ما نستعمل معه عبارة for. Okay, for a period of time يعني مدة زمنية محددة. Again, the second use, it's also used past perfect continuous like the past perfect, used to show the relationship of actions of cause and effects. Okay, example: Ahmed was tired. Ahmed was tired. هذا هو الeffect نتيجة. Why? Because he had been working. Because he had been working لأنه كان يعمل لمدة طويلة مثلا. Okay, so Ahmed was tired because he had been working. Here we have cause and effects. Okay, now let's do an exercise. So practice. Put the verbs in the correct form. The verbs between brackets in the correct form. 1. he was tired because he exercised so hard. 2. James was tired because he played rugby. 3. Sam gained weight يعني زاد في الوزن because he not practiced sport. هنا عندنا negative not practiced sport. 4. Alfred teach معنى درس at the university for more than a year before he left to Africa. 5. Here is a conversation between A and B. A. How long you study English before you moved to London? So here we have interrogative. You study. خصنا نعرفو فين نحطو subject pronoun you. Okay. B. I not study English very long. I not study English very long. Here we have negative case. Okay, here are the answers to the exercise. So 1. He was tired because he had been exercising so hard. 2. James was tired because he had been playing rugby. 3. Sam gained weight because he hadn't been practicing sport. 4. Alfred had been teaching at the university for more than a year before he left to Africa. 5. How long, so it's a conversation between A and B. A. How long had you been studying English before you moved to London? So notice here we put the subject pronoun you after had, so had you. B. I hadn't been studying English very long. Here we have negative. I hadn't been studying English very long. Alright, so we come to the end of this video. So it was basically about past perfect and past perfect continuous tense. So for past perfect we said it's had plus past participle, and it's used mainly for two actions in the past, and we want to show the sequence of the event, which action happened first. كنشوفوا الحدث الأول اللي وقع في الماضي هو اللي كنديرو في past perfect، والحدث الثاني في الماضي هو اللي كيكون في simple past. And we have seen also the past perfect continuous, and we said that the form is had been plus verb plus ing, and we also talked about its use for an action that happened in the past and continued until a specific time in the past, and it's also used to show cause and effects. And that's it for past perfect and past perfect continuous tense. Thank you very much for being patient and watching. I hope now you understand the form and uses of these tenses. If you have any question, don't forget to just write it in the comment side and they will respond to it. Stay safe, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with students and anyone who is interested in learning English. Bye.